So I've been doing a little bit of experience farming, trying to get back the sword and bow, or rather really just the sword and a new diamond pickaxe that I used up in the last video I recorded. So I went over to my good friend Eirias, I believe it's pronounced, and his EXP farm called the Pit of Doom. Now this is a dual spawner that has zombies and skeletons. You can see up here, this is the skeleton spawner. Huh, that's weird. Guess he should probably put a block on top of that. I'll let him know. Anyways, this is one of the best spawners we have on the server. There is a twin skeleton spawner that was probably our best beforehand, and I would honestly say this one takes the cake. It's got a very complicated redstone wiring that allows for well, I'll just show you. What you do is, I've had this running for about 10 minutes now and it's kind of filled up, but you would press this button and it'll turn off all the lights. Now you stand on the obsidian to be in range of both spawners, obviously, and it will generate both skeletons and zombies. Now, the lights should turn back on after about 16 minutes due to some pretty awesome redstone that I'll show you soon. And pressing this button's not going to do anything to it. Actually, it might reset that timer. But if I press this button, it'll reset it, so it'll turn it off. Now, the fancy thing about this is that it has the kind of a timer on it as to not crash our server, because if you throw 800, 900 zombies on here and there's, God, like 8 or 9 or 10 people online, it's going to crash server and people are going to get angry because they're not going to be able to play. Now, there's also a drop farm, so these guys should be one punch kill or 1 or 2 punch kills, so pretty easy to kill. But I personally prefer to use a splash potion, obviously, and it does kind of lag it, and it's always easier to see when you're in F5. Now, I don't know why this is happening, and this is the same problem I had last time. So you throw a splash potion and it doesn't seem to kill all of them. But it's not really hard to get splash potions. So I'll just spam the crap out of them. Die! My frame rate goes up significantly when I kill these guys. Now I'm at about 60 when I was at like 40 before recording, and like dropped down to about 10, 15 when I killed all those guys first. Anyways, now that we've had our fun killing zombies, I'll show you guys the all the wiring here. Got me up to level 24. I'd say that's probably about 10-15 minutes of AFK, so it's really good experience. This wiring you see here kind of just goes to these lights. Almost just indicator lights. Now, I don't understand a lot of this redstone. I haven't really walked through and taken a complete look at the logic, but it looks like a lot of this stuff around here is kind of just glowstone for the spawners. Yep, redstone torches for the spawners. And when I come over to here, you can see where the more interesting part is. And this is the logic that allows it to go for 15 to 20 minutes. I guess the sweet spot's around 16 to 18 minutes. And all this really is 2 infinite loops connected to a OR. Is this an OR gate? It's some logic gate. Basically what happens is when both of these loops come to the end of them at the same time, which only occurs every 15 minutes or so, it will come up here and it'll turn off this, which will stop the loops from keep going. I probably should have turned it on to show you guys. Let me go flip on the switch, get a better idea of what's going on here. So when I turn this on, it starts these loops going. Now they're offset by a little bit. And they're on a nice long delay. But you can see they're a little off in their time. But there's also a different amount of repeaters on each side. I think it was somewhere around 25 and 24. I didn't count them. But when both of these torches are on, so you watch, one goes on and then the other goes on, boom boom. When both of them are on, it'll turn this torch on, which comes down to here. Blah, blah, blah. Well, I'm not following it right, but you get the idea. It's pretty cool. Simply not as easy. There's probably an easier way to do it than 2 loops. But is kind of the simplest logic of it. If you were to use a binary counter, binary adder, and have a smaller loop, you might save on repeaters instead of using repeaters, using sticky pistons, and it might save you some time in the design because now you only have to make the delay, so you don't have to make the delay so specific. But I guess he put a lot of work into the math behind these repeaters to get them to link up properly. So props to you, Eirias. This is a pretty awesome farm. I give it my thumbs up, and this is my favorite farm on the server at this current point in time. I leave you guys with a I'm going to leave you guys with a nice time lapse. Hopefully I can get a time lapse to work of this thing filling up and then turning off.